Hello, my name is Keshwani. It's Keshwani, Keshwani. I have been solving math problems out of this book here, practicing to take the GRE general test, the 10th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You should be able to find it at ets.org or anywhere on the internet, as a matter of fact. The problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you're going to find on page number 327. 327 is, as I showed you the book already, the 10th edition, that's the 10E4, page 327. Quantitative comparison question, number 1. These questions are called quantitative These questions are quantitative comparison. Your job here is to compare the two quantities that is given to you, that are given to you, that is, in the two columns, and then decide if quantity in column A is bigger, or if quantity in column B is bigger, or if the two quantities are equal, or if there isn't sufficient information there to ascertain as to which one is bigger or if they're equal. But the point here is that you are to compare the two quantities, not compute them, which is why I write down the word computation and I cross it out for emphasis that you are not to compute them, you are to compare them. Another thing that I want to point out before I start actually solving the problem is that this book that you're holding in your hand, the 10th edition, the exams in this book are old-fashioned exams. These are exams from the good old days when the exam used to be paper and pencil, where all the questions on the given exam were arranged in the order of difficulty. Here in this set we have 15 quantitative comparison questions. There are 9 of them on page 327 and there are 6 more on the following page. There are 15 of them. That tells me that since the questions are arranged in the order of difficulty, that tells us that 1 through 5 are easy, 6 through 10 are medium, and 11 through 15 are hard. So we'll do the first question here, which is a very simple question, very straightforward question. Vast majority of the people had no problem whatsoever. Only 12% got it wrong. Let's take a look at it. A hardware store, it says a hardware store, open the book and read the problem with me. Don't depend on my reading the problem to you. You must have the book in front of you. And of course the better idea would be actually to stop these videos if you have not solved this problem ahead of time. Solve these problems ahead of time on your own and then come and look at these videos and see if the similarities and the differences in your work and my work, that is. A hardware store purchased identical snow shovel at the cost of $9 a piece. Alright, so the cost is $9 per piece. And sold each of them for 20% above the cost. So their markup was 20%. That's what it's called, markup. So the markup was 20%. Whatever the cost was, they tag on 20% of the cost before they sell it. And sold each of them for 20% above the cost. What they want you to compare is the price at which the hardware store sold each of the shovel. So we have the price in this column at which it was sold in column A, and we have $10.80 in column B. Well, let's see. 20% markup, very straightforward as I told you before. $9 is the cost. 10% of $9, we know is 10% of $9. We know is 90 cents. Another 10% would be another 90 cents. And if we add them all up, the 10% and 10%, that's your 20% markup. And the cost, if you add them all up, you should get your price. So let's see, 0, 9 and 9 is 18. Oh, what do you know? It's exactly 1080. It's exactly 1080, therefore the answer is C. That's all, we're done. That's all there was. Let's take a look at number 2. number 2. This marker does not want to come to life. In number 2, they're giving us a quantity in the middle. They're told that n plus 2 over 5 equals 5 plus 7 over 5. And they want us to compare n in column A versus 6 and 4/5 in column B. Let's see what we can do. Well, the very first thing we're going to do here is, this thing is 7 over 5. 7 over 5, we can write that as 1 and 2/5, because 5 over 5 is 1, so 1 and 2/5. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to substitute 7 over 5. We're going to write that as 7/5. We're going to write that as 1 plus 2/5. Let's put it in here, 1 plus 2/5. Why do we want 1 plus 2/5? Because here we have 2/5, then we can subtract 2/5 from both sides and get rid of it. So 7 over 5, we're going to substitute this quantity right here. 1 plus 2/5. Now, we have 2/5 on both sides. See, for example, if I ask you which quantity is bigger, 37 plus 49 or 26 plus 49, and if you sit there and if you start adding these two quantities, you're still missing the point. These questions are called quantitative comparison. Your job is to compare the two quantities, not compute the bloody things. You understand? Do not compute them, compare them. So here what we will do is, if this were the scenario, we will simply subtract 49 from both columns. And if you subtract 49 from both columns, this 49 disappears. So I'm not going to show the intermediate step here, I'm not going to show the childish step. We just simply cross them out. We cross out 49 from here and 49 from here. Technically what we're doing is we're subtracting 49 from both columns. And it's perfectly legal to do that. It's okay to do that because, for example, if 3 is more than 2, then adding 5 to both sides, 3 plus 5 will still be more than 2. So if you're adding 5 to both sides, it doesn't play any role. It plays no role. This 5 is just there to annoy you. 3 is still more than 2, just like 8 was more than 7. You understand? So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to subtract 2/5 from both sides. So if I subtract 2/5 from both sides, 2/5 drops out, and there's your n. Your n equals 5 plus 1. That's your n. We're comparing it against 6 and 4/4. Of course, 6 and 4/4 is bigger. The answer is B. That's all. That's it. We are done. That's all there was. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to get hold of me for personal private tutoring, I do tutoring face-to-face tutoring. I do tutoring over the Skype, through online, over the internet, and I also do consultation over the telephone. If there is anything at all that I can help you in your preparation for GRE, go to my website at www.for4gre.com and send me an email. Or you can go to www.KeshwaniPrep.com, same website, and send me an email. Okay? Thanks.